Yes, I've been speaking for a few minutes. Now actually it's time for some action. We're going to switch to a game now, and we're going to give you a live presentation of The Witcher 2. It's going to be a part of the game roughly in the middle of it. And what's important about it is that we have, well, it's one of the many presentations that I've done, but this one is really unique and specific because so far, most of the presentations we've done were mainly about story, about world. I'm not saying that it's not going to be there, obviously. You can play a game without the world. But we've done a lot of things to stress how the most important features of the game look like the story and the world. And this one, because there are a lot of questions about combat, will be focused mainly around combat, with some exploration in mind as well. But yeah, without further ado, let's start some fighting. As I already mentioned, we're roughly in the middle of the game. This is the second chapter of it. And we're going to walk through a really huge open area in a moment. But obviously, there will be some enemies, some opponents on our way. Before we start fighting with them, I just want to take a few moments to prepare for some combat. We're going to start with preparing our gear that we have. Negotiator is a really cool sword that we might want to be using because it's really effective against magical creatures and monsters, and it has the freezing chance, which is cool. It slows down the enemies, and also freezes them for a period of time. And also we have a quite good, I would say, steel sword that has few really nice characteristics. We also have a jacket that's better than the one we're wearing right now, so we might as well want to exchange them. As you can see, it has quite high resistance towards 3 different elements, I would say. And okay, that's it for the gear. Now let's try to think about some leveling up, because we already have few talents that we've gained on the previous parts of the game. Now it's time to show you how you distribute them, how you unlock skills, and what these skills give you. You can see the tree of a character development in The Witcher 2. On the right side, you can see a swordsman path or a tree, a set of skills. On the bottom, you can see the alchemical one, and on the left side, it's the magical tree. Obviously, there are a lot of skills that you can unlock. Some of them are really gameplay-oriented, as you can see. Like, for example, this skill here, it's a riposte. If you unlock it, and if you use it, it allows you to time your attacks in a manner that allows you to either deal a lot of damage to your opponent or kill him with one strike. One more important thing, some of the skills that you can see in here have additional slots, like dots in here. You can fill them by having mutagens. If you find mutagens and if you want to use them, they actually enhance the skill with way new possibilities. Like in here, it increases your level of vitality just by using this mutagen. Okay, let's apply it. And we'll also want to unlock some new skills. What do you think about magic? Łukasz is playing the game. I'm just encouraging him. Yeah, that's a cool one because we probably will find this one really, really handy. It's the enhancement of one of the magical signs, spells, if you might. This one is called Irden, the magical sign. And if you enhance it, it's possible for you to put more than one sign on the ground. It's a magical trap, as I already mentioned. And if you put 2 or 3, they interconnect and create either a line or an area that stuns the opponent whenever he walks inside. All right. Are we buying anything else? Oh, yes. The Whirlwind is a really cool skill because it regenerates two of your characteristics at the same time. So it's, yeah. Okay, and it also increases the amount of adrenaline that is being generated with successful strikes of your sword. And obviously, we also want to use some mixtures to make sure that we're prepared for the battle as well as possible. To start off, Swallow is a potion that regenerates your vitality. It's really effective, but in case it might not be enough, we will also use Toniol, which is a potion with a similar effect, but this one has a side effect. The Toniol, it decreases your damage by 40%. And there is also Virga, right? accelerates your vigor regeneration, which is used for using magical signs and using the spells. All right, let's drink them. There was also a toxicity bar at the bottom, if you noticed. You cannot exceed the maximum level of toxicity. If you don't, we kind of actually managed to be just below the maximum level. So we're going to be, as they call, deadly effective, and deadly it will be. All right, first pack of enemies is just ahead of us. We're gonna fight with, if I recall correctly, 4 enemies. And not only, oh yeah, to start off with a shield, really nice defensive sign. We're gonna be using items like this one. And we're also gonna be using different tactics and shape of the terrain. You will see that by throwing an art sign to a guy who's standing on the edge of a cliff, we can kill him with one strike, pushing him off the cliff. There are 2 opponents in here. Oh, sorry, where there? Yeah. There are 2 of them, and we might gonna deal with this weaker one first, and then tend to the stronger guy with a huge sword, because this one requires some timing, some blocking. Try blocking, come on. Some blocking, there you go. And if you time it right, you can repost. You can see the icon that changes on a guy that allows you to repost at the right moment, and it deals a lot of damage with a chance of critical strike, killing the guy with 1 strike. Really nice. There's a really wide area opening up. It's one of these that we have in game. We have a lot of them. But there will be more opponents coming up, from what I know. And once again, we will use the shape of the terrain, this narrow passage here. Put the advanced or 2 instances of Earthen Trap, and they interconnect, as you can already see, because we have the skill. And a guy who's running into it will get stunned. Ooh, what a surprise. And then we can deal with them. There are more opponents in here, and a small monster as well. Poor baby. Okay, and yeah, dealing with the monster is probably the fastest one, because it's a small one, not really dangerous. But also, there is 1 weaker guy and 1 stronger guy once again, but stronger guy is with a shield, which means that there are going to be different tactics required against this one than for the previous one with a huge sword. Now, if you hit the guy in a shield, most of the times, not all of them, but most of the time, you just hit his shield and you cannot deal too much damage to him. As you can also see, he's got a lot of health, so you can try many tactics. Blocking his strikes will get him out of balance, that's one thing. Other thing is just throwing the stunning side at him, hard one, and there's a chance, obviously, that he gets knocked down, and then you can finish him with a really spectacular finisher. Oh, and we found a sword. By the way, these guys were camping here. It seems like a really nice, cozy place. We might as well use it. Why not? We even thought about giving some mandolin to Geralt to play by the fire, but it's not in there right now. And yes, why we are meditating is, I told Łukasz not to do it, but he feels gutsy today, and he definitely wants to wait until the night and go into the open area, the wilderness, and fight with monsters, because there are more monsters at that time, and we're just gonna make it harder. Once again, with the time passing, the effect of the potions has worn off, and that's why we had to drink more of them. And once again, some of them have side effects, like the one that regenerates vitality. And to compensate for, yeah, we can put the fire off and obviously destroy some environment. Yes, yes. We have destructibles, yes. And as I mentioned, to actually make up for the side effect of one of the potions, we might want to use some oil on the blade of our sword, because it increases the damage that we deal with its sword. It's one more use of alchemy, necrophage oil. It somehow happens that we already know that there are necrophage monsters coming up, and that's why we're going to be using this kind of oil. And there we go. There's going to be a wide open area. These monsters are going to be storming at us from many directions at the same time, so it's quite advisable to use different tactics against them. Putting a sign in here might not, a trap, an exploding trap, might have been a good idea if these guys tried to get from behind. I already mentioned that this sword has a chance of freezing monsters, so it actually did. There's a huge one if you aim your bomb. by throwing the bomb button, you can aim it actually. And yeah, you stun him for a while, then we can freeze him. And that was deadly effective, I would say. Nice tactics out there. But obviously there are more monsters coming. And there are other buildings and walls. I will be talking about them later on. Just not now. Nice throw. Nice one. Okay. Let's see how Łukasz deals with many of them surrounding. I know a lot of things are happening on the screen right now. Just please remember that this is hard difficulty setting. If somebody is trying to play the easy way through The Witcher 2, they won't have to use advanced tactics. But if you're a hardcore player, this is what you get. Nice. There's more and more of them. Oh, and there's even one bigger one. Rotfiend, this kind of monsters, has one really, really nasty characteristics, feature. When they are really low on health, they explode. So if you feel like you're finishing one, it's probably... Nice tactics. It's probably a good idea to run away and let him explode in solitude. Once again, the defensive sign, and just some whirlwinds of your sword. One exploded, taking player down. Let's see if we can pull it out, actually. Nice mix of fighting with one of these opponents with a sword and then putting a stunning side on the side to stun the other one. That was really, really nice. All right, we can pick up Empty Trap after it's been used, if we want to. All right, so next thing we might want to do, I mean, Łukasz is really good at this, so he might as well be doing this forever. But because it's a really nice open area, a huge location, we might want to meditate until the day and show you how it looks during the daytime, because I think it's really nice. And I can tell you a few words about the surrounding. It's actually one of the versions, one of the varieties of Chapter 2 of the game. If you play one of the storyline paths through it, you land in here, in Chapter 2 of the game. This is a huge military camp that we're seeing right here. In a full version of the game, you will have a chance to walk in there, just right now. But obviously, it's just one part of the location. You can go many ways from here. And once again, rock fiends. Uh-oh. We're poisoned, as you can see, on the borders of the screen. Alright, oh, there's one more. Freezing is actually especially effective against this type of opponents, because these guys, when they freeze, when you stun and freeze them with this kind of sword, they do not explode while dying. Yeah. I know Łukasz as well could be doing this forever, so we might as well want to move on, unless there are more monsters. Oh yeah, and picking up the loot as well, and firing up. Did you fire up a carcass? Come on, man, that wasn't nice. All right. Oh yeah, and there's a quest, Burned Corpse, 1 of 9. We won't be burning all 9 right now, please. Let's not do it. Okay. Now. These guys are not going to be nice to us, because these are bounty hunters.
Been observing you for a while now.
And?
Just wondering if I can bring you in alive. And get a higher reward, you know.
Well, you can't.
Damn shame, I'd say.
They're going to try anyway, and it somehow happens that there's a reward for... there's a prize for Geralt's head. So they're going to be fighting with us. There's a mage among them, so we'll start with an XE sign. This one takes over the mind of one of the opponents. He starts attacking one of his own, so these two guys are busy. We might, at that time, tend to the other ones. The mage is always trying to attack us from a distance. From time to time, he will be trying to, there you go, to teleport or to heal. So, at certain occasions, he becomes a top priority of attack for a lot of players. All right, once again, a finisher, because our adrenaline bar has been filled to the maximum. One more. There are 2 guys left. We might want to. There you go. A group finishers. Really nice, spectacular animation. You can unlock group finishers as one of the advanced skills of using your sword, and you can kill up to 3 opponents at once. All right. So, yeah, I know Łukasz is feeling really gutsy right now. I already told you that. So we might as well try to explore a bit and find one more really, really dangerous place in this area. If we go further on, oh yeah, there will be rot fiends, but as you have already seen, these are not too much of a threat. So there's probably going to be more dangerous place, like in here. It looks like a small hole in the ground, like a small passage. And for any exploration kind of players, I have a secret information that there's a treasure hidden in here. But obviously, as any treasure in any RPG game, it's probably gonna be well guarded. I'm not spoiling, no, not at all. All right, if you walk down, you can watch the medallion, because it will, yeah.
It's telling me something.
It will signal that there is a danger coming up. I mean, not that there is something that will scare Geralt, but at least it's an information. So, yeah. And, oh yes, it's an Arakas. This guy is nasty because he not only has a regular strong blows that he puts upon us and they take the opponent, the Geralt, sorry, down, but he also sometimes utilizes charging attack, like this one, which is deadly effective as well, but that's not even all. We're gonna have to be extra careful with this one and time the attacks that we have. Probably also use some defensive signs. There you go, like a magical trap. Oh, we're really low on health. Can we do it? He also spits some green slime that has a chance of poisoning us and stunning for a while. Ignisign is good. You're really low on health. Nice try. Well, let's see if we can do it, actually. Nice rolling away. Okay. Last chance, buddy. That's what I thought, actually. This one is too difficult. Yeah, but don't worry, guys. Don't worry, guys. There's one important thing. I always stress it. This game is not about separating young boys from grown-up men. Actually, if you see the opponent that is too difficult for you, it's not a bad idea, not a bad tactics to run away, level up a bit, and get back with time. And obviously, you've already seen that there's way more to explore than just this open ground in here, which was huge, but there are more wide open areas in Witcher 2. And once again, to stress, this presentation was about combat because we felt there were a lot of questions about how it actually worked. So we tried to use as many tactics in this short 15 or 20 minutes presentation as we could. And yeah, that's it. The last thing for me to say is that you know the place. Please go pre-order the game. And thank you very much.